Alright, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Southern Tier Brewing Company, and they're out of Lakewood, New York, and this is their Strawberry Shortcake. So this is an Imperial Ale, and on the side of the label it says ale with natural flavors, and underneath that it says made with milk sugar, aka lactose. Comes in at 8.6% alcohol by volume, 12 IBUs at the time of review, and this bottle is just under 2 months old and also has a best by date of December 9th of 2025. And for these Imperial Ales and their Blackwater series, and basically when you see specialty on the label for Southern Tier, typically they give them about a year best by date, and that holds true for this one. So this is the newest Imperial Ale like dessert beer that they have released. Now, I feel like this whole series is very hit or miss for me. I've reviewed quite a few on the channel over the past couple years. Most recently was their Chestnut Praline, pretty good. And then I also, over the past year, maybe 2 years, I've reviewed their Orange Twist, Vanilla Scoop, French Toast, Frosted Sugar Cookie, and again, hit or miss. Some were really good, some weren't as good, some were a bit too sweet and too rich and decadent, and others maybe not as much. However, when they release one, I got to give it a go, and I love me some Strawberry Shortcake. Look at me. I like a lot of desserts. And yeah, I'm wondering, did they nail a Strawberry Shortcake in Imperial Ale form at 8.6%? And if so, would I be able to drink the entire bottle? Is it not going to be like too, you know, a lot of times these can be too cloying and too sweet and too over the top. We will see. So let's give it a pour into the hashtag proper glassware. And I don't know why, like, I don't know what I'm doing on my channel most of the time anymore. I'm pretty tired tonight though, so I do apologize in advance for whatever this review might seem to be or seem not to be. Now, I think this is the first time I've reviewed a bottle here on with the new camera. So I'm trying to see how I can put this, because should I just do it like that? Will that work? I guess that will work. Fine. Anyway, again, hashtag proper glassware. How does it look in the Southern Tier glass? I'd say it looks pretty good. You know, it's typical for this Imperial Ale series. It's you know, has that, like, it almost looks like a blonde ale. It has like a blonde golden color, great clarity. If I show you from the backside here, you should be able to make out probably at least at the very least, maybe my hand through it, at least the shadow you should be able to see, right? Try to get my face out of there so it does it. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it looks nice. Do the whole, can you see through there? Probably some carbonation bubbles and whatnot. Through the other side. Yeah, I mean, it's basically a blonde ale. Had about a finger of an off-white looking head. Looks somewhat creamy, but probably because of the natural flavors and everything, the ABV, it kind of dissipated. Good carbonation, but not like crazy or anything, but it looks exactly how I expect it to look. Let's get a nose. I'll be honest with you, that smells like fresh, real raspberries. Now, they're using natural flavors, which a lot of times can smell like artificial flavors and sometimes taste like artificial flavors and be a little bit too synthetic. It's not happening here. That smells like real, like you have like a container of strawberries and you bite one and yeah, it's maybe over-ripened, a little bit sweeter. You bite another, it's a little bit tart because it's under-ripened. But it smells like fresh, real strawberries, which is really nice. It definitely has a cakey vibe to it. Like you could say shortcake. I would say like a vanilla kind of like birthday cake or like a vanilla like frosted cake. There's definitely like vanilla whipped cream type of aroma. But then you get that pure on like yellow cake. Yellow cake. Shout out to Chappelle Show. Don't drop that shit, man. But yeah, it smells exactly how it should based on what they're calling this. It smells like someone stuffed Strawberry Shortcake into this huge Imperial beer. It smells super sweet though. And it's like, I know this is going to be sweet. It could potentially be rich, perhaps decadent, but it smells definitely sweet. And there is no like true beer qualities to the nose here. I'm not getting anything that reminds me of anything beer-wise. Like no grain, no hops. There's no like yeast esters or phenolic yeast notes. It just smells like Strawberry Shortcake in liquid form. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. You know what? Not bad. Not bad at all. I will say these Imperial Ales, here's the thing. Gotta say here's the thing, at least once review. It's not that like more often than not, Southern Tier kind of nails the flavor profile in these. But it's a battle for me personally as to whether or not I want to drink like the entire bottle of it, or can I drink the entire bottle of it without it being too much as a whole. And that could be too much of a singular flavor, sweetness, whatever the case, alcohol, it could be anything, right? Or maybe all of them combined. And after that first sip, I'd say that this is one of the better ones as far as I think I'll be able to drink this bottle. Body is like higher side of medium, 8.6%, maybe a touch thin, but it's fine. The mouthfeel has a nice moderate kind of carbonation, crisp on the palate, smooth on the second half going down. Not really soft or creamy or anything, but it's fine. The taste, it's strawberry shortcake in beer form. And by beer form, I say not really beer form. Like I said, I don't get a lot of beer properties out of this one. Front to back, it's both like overripened and underripened strawberries. So you get sweet strawberry and tart strawberry. So it's sweet, tart strawberries. The cake portion, the shortcake portion of this, like it's distinct. It has a cakiness to it without question. On top of that, I do get like a vanilla, like whipped cream thing going on. So it has nailed strawberry shortcake in this beer. It's strawberry shortcake for sure. I'm not even really getting, like I said, any beer properties. Like there's no, sometimes with these I'll get like a nice like graininess or maybe even like a citrus quality, some kind of yeast, ester or phenolic yeast note. Nothing that really reminds me of beer. Just like drinking liquefied strawberry shortcake. However, this is sweet. This leans, I'd say, like 70-30 sweetness to dryness. There's absolutely zero bitterness here. There is a nice like semi-dry kind of quality on the finish. Is it too sweet? I think I'll be able to drink this one, but I don't know if I want to drink all of it. Like, again, I've said this in other reviews with Southern Tier, especially these Imperial Ales, these dessert Imperial Ales or pastry Imperial Ales. I want to split a bottle of this. I'm glad they don't come in bombers. I do appreciate the 12 fluid ounce bottles. But I want to split a bottle of this. I'd love 6 ounces of this. Like half of this glass, I'm good to go. I got my fill of strawberry shortcake, 6 ounces. I'm cool. What's going to happen is as I drink down and get to the last 3 or 4 ounces of this, the singular flavor that I'm tasting in here, which is strawberry shortcake, becomes a bit too much. It's too much of one thing. You ever get like palate fatigue from eating something? Like let's say you're I want wings and you ate 30 wings and you're like, oh my God, like well, how did I eat 30 wings? And the last 10 wings, you're just putting them back because they're in front of you. Or like pizza, right? You devour a bunch of pieces and then you get to the point where it's like, ooh, that's too much of that. That's what this beer is. As you get through about half to maybe 2/3 of the way through the glass, it's too much of that strawberry shortcake flavor. But I'm not going to say strawberry shortcake flavoring, in this regards tastes 100% natural, but it doesn't have a huge, to me, synthetic flavor that a lot of these have. Your mileage may vary. I've had a lot of people disagree with me when it comes to these Imperial Ales from Southern Tier, so I anticipate that happening again. For me personally, I like the flavor of this one. I could definitely split a bottle of this. I might be able to drink the rest of this, but it's too much of one thing for me to highly recommend people go and buy out like 4-packs and a whole bunch of other stuff. Go buy a case of this. There's no way I would ever tell anyone to buy a case of this, but I think they did a damn good job, all things considered. 8.6%, little warming in the chest, nothing on the palate. To me, it really hides the booze on the palate, but I definitely do have a nice warming into my chest, into the stomach. So it's noticeable from that aspect. I'd guess 8% if I was doing this blind just because of that. But on my palate, there's no way, like at all, that I would think this is 8.6%. So, yeah, I guess the pros for this one, it's not cloying for me as I'm drinking this one, but it might be by the end of the beer. It might be a little bit too sweet, too rich, too decadent. But they've nailed the strawberry shortcake flavor. If you like strawberry shortcake, you like Southern Tier, I'd say seek this one out. So their strawberry shortcake, another Imperial Ale from Southern Tier. I am going to give this bad boy right here. We'll go straight 4 out of 5. I think that's a fair score for what I'm drinking. I got to knock it down a little bit for, the fact that it's not quaffable, although it's 8.6%, you're not looking for that. But just because I don't think I really want to drink the entire bottle of this, I think I got to knock it down a little bit. So I did. But I still think I think it's still a pretty damn solid beer. And I'd recommend if you can buy a single of this, buy a single. And even if you have to pay an extra 50 cents, $1, whatever, buy a single to see if you like it before you commit to a 4-pack. Speaking of which, price point availability, $13.99 a 4-pack here in the Western New York area, more specifically Buffalo, New York. I know a lot of people have said beers like this sometimes in their area might be $15, $16, even $18 a 4-pack. I would not pay probably over $5 a bottle to try this as a single, and I wouldn't pay probably over the $13.99 a 4-pack here that in the Western New York area that they're charging. Availability, I don't really know with Southern Tier outside of check their website. They probably have I'm pretty sure they have a beer finder. Here in the Western New York area, we've been getting Southern Tier stuff for many, many years, probably close to 20 years. And they do a pretty damn good job overall. We get most of their specialty and Blackwater series and all those kinds of releases, plus all their year-round stuff. But I can't tell you if you'll see this in your neck of the woods. If you get a lot of these Imperial Ales and these specialty releases in the Blackwater series, you most likely should see this one or already have seen it. Again, this is just under 2 months old, so this isn't like fresh or new right now, but it's been on the shelves since like mid to late December. So check it out if it interests you. I would say that this is one of the better offerings from them in this series that kind of nails the flavor profile. But again, usually when that happens, the drinkability for me is lessened because it's like, yeah, you nailed Strawberry Shortcake. That French toast was the same thing. I was like, yeah, you did a great job with the French toast, but it's French toast. I don't want to drink an entire 12 fluid ounce bottle of just liquefied French toast. It is what it is. Beer's crazy nowadays. So like I said, if you see this one, you want to check it out, do so. If not, I totally get it. But I'm still going to try out all of them. At some point, maybe I'll find one that it works a little bit better for me, not as sweet, not over the top. I can maybe drink a couple bottles of it. Once I get to that level, I think I've reached the pinnacle for these Southern Tier Imperial Ales. Until then, we're going to keep on trying and see what we end up with. Like I said, no real bitterness here. Definitely leans sweeter. Alcohol is noticeable in the chest, but not on the palate. So I'm going to shut this one down. I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.